To News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. I'm Cody Proctor. Let's get started. First off tonight, he's been arrested 5 times in the last 5 months. Now a 22-year-old man's facing his most serious charge yet after a SWAT team swarmed his apartment this week. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk has been looking through the court documents today and what a robbery victim told police.
22-year-old Joji remains in jail. Spokane police say he and 3 others robbed a man who was lured into his apartment. That victim, who had a gun pointed to his head, told police he thought he was going to die. 22-year-old Joji appeared in court this afternoon, a day after the SWAT team was called to his North Spokane apartment. Court documents show a man told police he met a woman at Northern Quest Casino who invited him back to her apartment. Once inside, he told police he was robbed by 4 men. One of them in a ski mask, another pointing a gun 3 feet from his head, threatening to shoot him if he moved. After the men emptied his pockets, the victim was able to escape and call for help. Police surrounded the apartment, but were only able to locate one of the suspects.
So, sir, is your name Joji?
It's the 5th time in 5 months the 22-year-old has been taken to jail. He was previously arrested for stealing from a North Spokane Maverick, the downtown Apple store, a Spokane Valley Walmart, and the Burlington Coat Factory.
Do you need an interpreter to understand these proceedings?
For the big words.
Need you to stop laughing. This is court.
Joji's public defender told the judge he was deemed incompetent by Eastern State Hospital 6 days ago. But the judge didn't have those findings in front of her today, so she set Joji's bond at $10,000.
This was a violent offense involving a gun, which increases concern and risk for community safety.
And Spokane police say this investigation is ongoing and they're working to identify and locate additional suspects. Cody?
Kyle, thank you so much. After a week of slightly warmer temperatures, it looks like we could be in for more of the same as we head into the weekend and into next week. So let's check in right now with meteorologist Michelle Boss for a look at this weekend's forecast.
Slightly warmer, but winter is going to just not let go. And so we're going to keep the chance of a little bit of snow in the forecast over the weekend. Luckily, nothing heavy, at least in the lower elevations. As we take a look at satellite and radar right now, we do see a few flurries here and there, mainly to the northeast of the Spokane area and down towards the Palouse and Lewiston, where we could see a little bit of snow as well. Seeing a few radar returns out across central Washington as well. But really the only area that's going to see any type of significant snow is out towards Wenatchee and Stevens Pass. We do have winter weather advisories for those locations. That's going to be for Saturday evening into Sunday morning till noon, looking at 4 to 8 inches from Stevens Pass into Wenatchee. Currently temperatures are hovering in the lower 30s. We're just below freezing in Spokane, right at freezing in Coeur d'Alene, and 37 in Moses Lake and Grand Coulee. We'll bottom out in the 20s overnight with mostly cloudy skies and have a chance for a few light snow showers both on Saturday and Sunday. And it looks like we may make it into the lower 40s tomorrow. We'll be back in the 30s on Sunday.
New tonight, defense attorneys in the Moscow murder case asked the Idaho Supreme Court to keep a gag order in place. This after several media outlets, including KREM 2 News, challenged the order. The gag order stops anyone involved in the case from talking about it to the media or anyone else. The attorneys say challenging the order is premature and that media coverage thus far has been, quote, twisted. In the meantime, funding for the University of Idaho is now on its way to the state Senate. $1 million would help U of I pay for unexpected expenses after 4 students were murdered near campus.
With that, there were, of course, tremendous security issues, counseling issues that came along. They provided additional shuttle services. The Vigil Memorial that you probably saw was a part of that.
The university provided KREM 2 this breakdown of some of those costs that run from November 13th of last year to May 15th of this year. But Representative Joe Alfieri from Coeur d'Alene says he's suspicious of the $1 million figure. He felt it was a guesstimate, and he's not the only one. A university spokesperson says some invoices are still coming in and a more detailed accounting will be provided.
School just got out and this guy just trying to get through, and these kids have no idea who this person is or what is going on here. They're just minding their business. They've got
New chopper footage tonight of a police chase in Orange County, California that forced the suspect to stop when dozens of kids started crossing the street. You can actually see that video, just that right there. The suspect allegedly carjacked another driver at a gas station before firing shots at law enforcement. He was arrested after crashing into a police car.
And it might not have been you. It might have been the monster you become.
The judge in Alex Murdaugh's case addressed the disgraced attorney today after handing down his sentence, 2 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. This all just 24 hours after Murdaugh was found guilty of murdering his wife and youngest son. The defense said they plan to appeal, but Murdaugh could still face life in prison for his alleged financial crimes. Let's go now to Nightbeat with a quick look at the day's top stories. And just into our newsroom within the last few hours, a judge reinstated North Idaho College President Nick Swain. As reported by our news partners, the Coeur d'Alene Press, that means he'll be taken off administrative leave and will be acting president while his lawsuit's resolved. The college's board of trustees placed Swain on leave, a decision that's been disputed by Swain from the beginning. The judge also granted an injunction requested by Swain today. This means the college can't make any major changes before the suit is resolved. Construction kicked off today for the Euclid Road Bridge replacement. The project's been in the works for more than 3 years after the bridge closed after a safety inspection found 2 critical failures in its supporting structure. One nearby neighbor says he's excited about the project.
When we would approach this bridge, the current bridge, we couldn't see the other side, and sometimes you would be so afraid you'd come nose to nose that you would stop and wait for nothing. Or people would be flying like crazy going this direction. Literally, it would be a Dukes of Hazzard thing. They would be flying off the edge.
French recognized the challenges a bridge closure brings. However, he emphasized it's important to maintain public safety. 1 month from today, the State Department of Health will end the masking requirement for health care facilities, long-term care, and correctional facilities. The Secretary of Health's masking order expires April 2nd at midnight. Dr. Umair Shah says virus numbers are finally trending the right way.
We wanted to make sure that we were waiting as long as we could to safely get through the majority of respiratory season, which really is where we are when we get to that April 3rd date.
Dr. Shah points out local health districts will make their own policy, so masking still may be required at some healthcare facilities. And annual property tax statements are starting to be mailed out to people living in Spokane County. Almost $818 million is set to be collected in 2023 property taxes in Spokane County. That's an increase of $48 million from last year. The first half of property tax payments are due by April 30th. The second half are due by October 31st. That was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, text the word night to 509-448-2000. We'll send them right to your phone. Well, Spokane's summer of concerts just won't stop when the temperatures dip down. This fall, Seattle rapper Macklemore is making his way downtown to the Spokane Arena this October. It's all a part of his tour to support his new album, Ben. Macklemore, no stranger to Spokane either. He actually filmed his music video for the song Downtown right here in the Lilac City back in 2015. The concert's scheduled for Tuesday, October 10th. Tickets will be available with Tickets West, starting with pre-sales this Monday. And that was your KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you get more news in less time.